Hey everyone, so I've received this watercolour set from Artistro in exchange for an honest review, and I've had it for a week now and I'm just been chomping at the bit, as my British husband would say, to play with it. But I thought it'd be really great for us just to look at it together. Now, I'm not a professional reviewer or anything, so it really is just you and I having a play and seeing how we enjoy them. It just comes with this lovely pink, I mean, look at this pink bag, and I think my daughter wants it. She spotted it and she wants it, so she can have it. I have no use for it, but I do see how if you travel with it, because it's sort of like a travel set, really, a larger travel set, it would be great to have this over it so it doesn't scratch. And then, I mean, look at this pink. I can't help it. I do love it. Most sets are white or tin, you know, just plain. So it is lovely. And I think they have a blue version. Okay, so, ooh, look at this. Okay, so it comes with, it's like a whole little kit. So it comes with some watercolor paper, 300 grams. Doesn't say whether it's cold pressed or... Scan the QR code and learn how to create a beautiful watercolor sunset. So I think it probably takes you to their site and you have a little tutorial. So that's handy. We've got the usual swatch type card on watercolor paper. I would prefer it was the size of the top tin, so it just sat there nicely, and also gives you a nice larger, but that's fine, it's no big deal. Then we have, well, I don't know what this is. Is this protection maybe? So it's like a swatch. Doesn't fit on that, fits on that. I suppose this is good protection. So if you're traveling, yeah, it makes sense. You can just cover everything up, couldn't you? If anyone has any other idea what this is for. But we do have the colours there. And we've got some metallics. I'm not really a metallics person or fluorescent, but you know, I'm a mixed media artist, and sometimes we want a little pizzazz or a little bit of surprise somewhere. So yeah, that's handy. Look, so half pans, it's 48, isn't it? 48 colours, so that's a nice good selection. You've got a teeny little brush, a pencil 2B, yeah, a little sketch. You've got an eraser, which is nice and tight. Okay, got it out. Just a tiny little eraser. It's a little travel one. A little sponge for some extra water there, and a brush pen. It's quite a large one. I do use brush pens, not I use it, you know, I'm mixed media, so all sorts of things. I use it just as a quick, it's really nice, like you don't have to get yourself a pot of water. You can just have them there and squish around graphite or stabilos or anything. This is quite, in comparison, it's quite large. It actually has a little push area, so could get quite a good bit of water in that. About a medium size. Yeah, nice. Good bit of water there. That will keep you going for some time if you're traveling. Okay, that's not bad. Nice little bit of kit. Now, for me myself, I have to admit, I don't travel with my watercolors, although, you know, we have been in lockdown, so maybe I might do it a bit more. This is not a bad set actually for traveling, because there's a lot there, and still fairly contained. 48 colors, you know, in this size is quite good. But if you do travel, this is not bad. So let's get using them. Now I want slightly larger swatches than the little brush offers, so I'm going to use this Graduate de la Rowney brush. Let's get some water. Been waiting a week, guys, to play. Okay, let's go for the brilliant red. Just grabbing the amount that I would normally. Whoa. Okay, so that's sort of like almost a hot pink type of red, so that's a little unusual, but it's vibrant. Wow. Wow, 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 look how much pigment it's pulling off. Okay, that's nice. Like that. Let's try a what we've got here. Just trying to follow that peacock green or turquoise. I'm going to go for that dark turquoise green apparently. Okay. Doesn't seem quite as pigmented as that one. Still a nice colour. Nice colour, nice blue. Let's get some Indian yellow. Okay, that's a nice, yeah, it's a lovely, I like, it's my sort of burnt orange, what I call burnt orange. It's quite nice. See if we can get a truer red going on. Whoa. I mean, really not lots of colour. I have to say that's quite impressive. It's not bad. Okay. Let me give it a, this is cobalt, oh, cobalt blue. The blues are a little weak, I have to say. Why is that so weak? Let me, the reds are so magnificent. I'll try a little more. It's just that colour. Just seeing how it's blending there, it's okay. Let's try a green, one of my favourites. Oh, this is, I think I've got the wrong one. Never mind. Tea green. It's quite nice. Okay, I want to try the one I really like, which is olive green. It's one of my favourite greens. Nice yellowy, warm green. It's not bad. It's quite, yeah, quite a lot of pigment. I just really wondering about these blues. Okay, I'm actually going to try all the blues now, see what's going on, see if it's a problem or it's just a type of blue. Okay, that's a lot better. This is just cool blue. Sea blue, it's quite nice. Pain ash, interesting name. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. If you like Payne's Grey, that's a really nice, cool version. Ultramarine. So we should get a really nice blue here. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, this one will at least just take some more. And peacock blue. It's interesting. It's a nice blue. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. I was a little worried there, thinking the blues weren't going to be as good. Okay, let's have a play with the fluorescents. I don't know where I would use this, but who knows? Oh, I can imagine in splatters. I'm going to pay. Whoa. Okay, that really is. That's pretty good. That really is fluorescent. We've got fluorescent blue. That doesn't even look fluorescent. Maybe when it dries. These blues. Okay, that's not even blended very well. Or okay, that's interesting to see when it dries. I'll go up here. I've got nothing to go. Whoa, I've got nothing to compare these two. Wow, that's amazing. That's really good. See, I use very little pigment and it really shows, whereas the blue I had to really work some pigment in there. Okay, how about metallics? So we've got here metallic bronze. I have another set with metallics and it's hard to get pigment, so this is really, wow, okay, yeah, I'm impressed with that one. What do you think? Do you use fluorescence? I can imagine it's as splatters. So this is metallic copper. Nice. Yeah, I do have a set of no, sorry, not a set, but it's a set of watercolors. It has a couple of, I think it's got gold, copper and bronze, and they just don't, they're not very effective. So this really shows. Okay, the gold and the silver, that's going to be the big test. Okay, not strong pigment, but oh, it's very shimmery. I wonder if the camera's really picking that up. I'm having to put a little bit more in there, but oh, look, imagine this over. I don't use crackle paste, but I know a lot of mixed media artists do. And can you imagine like just brushing it over some crackle paste or something? I stick paper down and on edges, you know, it just brushes over highlights. That could be really nice. Silver, this is always a tough one. Come on, the gold was good. Okay, it's looking alright. This is one of those ones that you have to dry to see. Okay, well they were impressive. Only the blue, I would say fluorescent blue, but let's wait till it dries before we give a final verdict on that one. I'm going to compare with a couple of other you know, named watercolors that I have. Named watercolors, what does that mean? Other named brands. So this is my own set, collecting pinks. That's very close to collecting pink, which is Daniel Smith. Okay, so this is Daniel Smith, and we all know Daniel Smith. Really good quality paint. Tiny amount, goes a long way. Colours very similar. It's a little more towards the red, but you can see the pigment really stands up to the Daniel Smith. Okay, this is another set. This is sort of, okay, this is kind of like that burnt orange that I really love. This is a little more like ochre, I suppose. Probably more like ochre, but still. See if I can get that metallic. Okay, this is the set that I have some metallics in. Just really love to see them next to each other. You see, that's just it's a shame because this one has 3 metallics. So I'm really getting in there, trying to get pigments. I really have to work it. It's not even close. Yeah, that's quite impressive. I just don't use these. I mean, besides, I don't really use a lot of metallics, but even if I wanted to, they're such hard work. Ugh. Yeah, that's just an awful silver. Let's see about that gold. I think this gold isn't too bad. Oh, that's not gold. I think it's supposed to be gold. It does have a shimmer. Is it called gold? Well, it's not very gold, is it? And this is supposed to be like a metallic. Bronze or copper? Which one would it be? Like a bronze. Oh, it's like the silver, isn't it? You have to keep working it, and it's not worth the effort. Look at that. Look how much I'm working at. Yeah, these are just so annoying because I love the other colours in that set, but I just want to get that again to see how. What's that? Bronze. Let's try bronze. Look, just a few dabs. Look at the difference. Wow, if you do like metallics, then this is a set. Yeah, look at that. Okay, this is beginning to dry. I really don't know if it's showing up on camera at all, but look at that shimmer. The silver, not as impressive. It's not quite as shimmery, but it does have that silver grey colour, which is quite nice. But that gold is really shimmering. It's really lovely. These are just absolutely pure fluorescence. That's really great. Still waiting on that blue to dry. So all the metallics are really good, really great. Just the silver is a little duller than, but it's a nice grey. It's a nice grey. Okay, let's wait for that one to dry. I really want to have a look at that. Okay, so this is my own set that I've created with Daniel Smith and Schmink colours. Let's see if I can get something close to... it's not quite, but this is that Daniel Smith? No, this is Schmink. It's more like this one here. It's more like ultramarine, isn't it? Oh, I mean, look at that's the amount of pigment you get there. It's a little bit more. It's not much more. There's something about the ultramarine sometimes. And that this gorgeous indigo here. Oh, that's really good. That's got to be Daniel Smith. Is that indigo? Oh no, it's Jackson's. It's a local brand. Wow, that's actually quite good. Okay, well now that this is dried, I really like this one here. That's not bad. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. What blue was that? That's really lovely. Blending is okay. I do see some streaks in it. I think, you know, if you're a watercolour artist, I think you would have to do your own test, and you know exactly what you're looking for. It looks to me a little streaky for professional watercolour artists, but for mixed media, you know, for my journal pages, this is really nice. I quite like it. Where's my page? So I don't gesso my pages. Obviously it will look very different with a gessoed page. Let's go for this. Okay. Well, this is, you know, for mixed media, what I like, what I need from my paints is a decent amount of pigment. You know, it doesn't have to be highly pigmented, but you know, you want pigment because you're working in layers, you're working in interesting substrates, so you want it to stand out. You don't want it to be lost. So yeah, this is fine. This is, you know, straight out of the box. I'm not mixing anything yet, so. And look at that, without gesso, just on a book page. That's very nice and bright. That's really nice and bright. I like that. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and see if I can get another layer on. Okay, while I'm waiting for my page to dry, I just thought I'd come back to these. I saw this properly in some good natural light, and it's actually lovely. It does have, I really don't think it's picking it up, but it does have a lovely sheen to it. A nice sparkle, just like the other metallics. So as I said earlier, I don't really use metallics, but if you do, these are beautiful. And who knows, now that I do have some nice beautiful metallics, I might be enticed and inspired to pop them in somewhere. Now that we have this fluorescent blue perfectly dry, that took a lot of pigment just to get to that, so that's quite disappointing. And you know, if I put it against other blues, there is a difference there. It's almost like this color heard about fluorescence from the other three but hasn't fully committed. So that's a little disappointing, but these are really have a kapow to them, don't they, if you like your fluorescence. Okay, so now I'm going in with a stencil. Nice bit of geometry, which you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I love. Love the contrast. What colour are we going to go for? I feel like a violet, a really nice strong violet, which just made me realise that it doesn't really have a palette. But I suppose you have all of this to use. Yeah, you do have all of that, and I'm not fussy about my palette, so I can use anything. But I do need. Okay, so the secret to watercolour and stenciling, which I see a lot of people really struggle with, is that it's about the minimum amount of water that you can use. And secondly, because it's water media that's water soluble, that can be reactivated, you don't want to overwork it. Let it dry 100%, and then you can go in. Now you can either dab, which I often tend to do, or you could brush lightly. Dabbing is better because then obviously less chance of activating what's below. I do like it grungy, so I'm quite happy for it not to you know, to go outside of the line, so to speak. Okay, so you can see that you have definite shapes. You keep it just a damp brush rather than a wet brush. So you can see here just how strong watercolour can be when it's very concentrated and not watered down. So now I'm gonna while my page is drying, I'm going to test out the white. I don't expect much from a white in a watercolour set, but yeah, so it's not strong enough to make a real impact, but that's fine. I always would use white gouache anyway. So as a use it as a to tint a colour. That's all right. Yeah, that's very effective. I like that. Look at that lovely shade. Okay, so that white is quite nice. Let me try it on a blue. Let's try this peacock blue. Yeah, nice, good. So the white's quite good. So I'm just pushing these watercolours, which is what I like to do. I like to push my water media and see. So far all I've used is these watercolours and a pencil. I've scribbled along. I do now want something quite stark, so I am going to use I'm going to have to use gouache. Let me just think. Okay, let's see what happens with the metallic bronze. Now I'm taking a lot of pigment, mostly because I do want to cover, and also because I don't want a really wet brush, because this is tricky when you're not stippling and you actually want to colour. I've just sketched a rough. don't think this is going to, no, that's not going to stand. It's not the fault of the colour. It's just a poor colour choice. Thing is, this silver, if it doesn't catch the light just right, it would just look grey, which is a shame because when it glitters it's lovely. I'm just trying out the metallics. Oh, how about I do a fluorescent? That's really pushing my comfort zone. You know, it's an art journal. If it doesn't work, cover it up. Wow. Am I? Okay. Definitely out of my comfort zone. But fun. It's fun going out of your comfort zone. Look at this. Orange. Wow, wow, wow. I did want it to stand out, so there we are. So that's getting a little mixed because I've not let that dry yet. See if I can get... I'm not taking it off completely because I do like the added dimension you'll get by allowing colours to work together a little bit. Should put a bit of yellow. Yeah, you can always, you can always cover that up. No, it's the orange. Orange is working it. You can always cover things up, I know beginners get very afraid and say, oh, what if I mess the page up? Cover it up. Cover it with paint, cover it with collage, anything at all. Or use the mistake to your advantage. I'm kind of liking this. This is so unusual for me. I mean, fluorescent will be probably my most disliked colours. You wouldn't know it. But I'm just liking how it's looking on the page. This is fun. Okay, I'm going to let this dry so that I can scribble it in. I think maybe fluorescent green will be just pushing it. I'm going to use this nice yellowish green. So, as I said, all of this has been done without mixing. I'm just using the colours straight from their pans. So obviously there's all sorts, I love mixing colours. So there's a whole possibility there when you start mixing these colours together, blending them. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to let that dry. So overall, I'm really impressed with this. I mean, you know, we would all love to have super expensive, or I think we do, super expensive watercolors. I don't have a full set of expensive watercolors. I tend to pick and choose certain colors, especially their pinks. But I found over time that with mixed media journaling, I don't need those expensive colors. You know, if you find one or two that is just extra special and you want that, fantastic. But just for general, especially for general play, I prefer to find watercolors that are inexpensive but still are satisfying. And for me, satisfying means that, quite simply, they have to have enough pigmentation so that, you know, it stands out on the page. It provides enough of an impact, and they're not just, you know, washed away or take, you know, a ton of watercolor to get the effect. And these are fine. These really do the job. I'm super impressed with their metallics, really beautiful. Really impressed with their fluorescence. The fact that they got me to use a fluorescent is it's a big achievement. So yeah, I like this. And if you do travel with your with watercolors, this is really nice. It's all there what you need. Probably I would say a little bit more water to wash your brush in. And yeah, this is nice. See, everything's a little damp underneath, but I can still pack everything away neatly. And honestly, the tin alone, I know I'm silly, but I do love a good tin or box. Yeah, nice watercolor set. Thank you, Artistro.